welcome to Radio Waves by Todderbert. If you enjoy reviews, comparisons, band scans of new and classic portable radios, then make sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon so you don't miss any of my future videos. In front of us, we have the Eaton FRX1. It's an AM/FM NOAA weather band emergency radio that I purchased from Amazon for a total of $15. Seemed like a good price, thought I'd give it a shot. Here it is, the Eaton FRX1. Got little things it does: weather radio, hand turbine, LED flashlight, glow in the dark indicator, headphone output, Eaton, nice, top, back of the radio. We got some bullet points there. Kind of just went over a little bit what I read to you. Internal battery, headphone output. Okay, so pretty basic information. Let's go and open this up, see what we get for the money. So I'm always a fan of emergency radios and I like to try all types and educate. So it comes like in this little cheapy plastic tray. It's kind of breaking down on mine. Must be an older model. All right, so what they give you, you get a cable. Looks like a mini USB variety to charge the internal battery, and that's all this does, is charge the internal battery. So, okay, and I think there was something else in there. Yeah, get these out of here. Okay, directions. Yeah, I always like the directions. Zoom this on down. Okay, so what we got here. It's nice that they give us charge times. I haven't even looked in this yet. Crank charging. Okay, so 5 minutes of cranking will result in 10 minutes of low volume play and 2 hours of flashlight use. So if you love cranking a Dynamo, this radio is for you, because there is no solar panel on this model. So I know there's a FRX2 I saw out there on eBay, some used ones, that had a solar panel on it. That'd be interesting to find, to see how well that works. So pretty basic radio, and we'll go over everything. I think this is going to be a different language. Okay, very simple. All right, the radio, here it is, Eaton. Okay, so yeah, it's got this nice white color. I like this with this little burgundy treatment. Let's go over some dimensions. So we have a length of 5.5 inches, a width of 2.5 inches, and a depth of 2 5/8 of an inch. Covering that right there. All right, so size comparison. I got CC Pocket. It's 9:24 p.m. Central Standard Time near Chicago, Illinois. If we do a band scan, there we are. We have Iron Man. Give you a size idea. And then I brought out a competitor, the WeatherX radio. And being that they're similar priced, I thought I would bring this out. And this model number is the WR182R. So I'll bring that one out too. Okay, so let's go over features of this radio. This side here is actually the bottom of the radio. So we have a serial number, FCC sticker. Behind here is the battery. Let me just go ahead. I guess I'll open it up on camera here. Always fun. And show you the battery that's inside. Okay, so it's like one of these smaller dudes. So what does that say? 2/3 AAA 350 milliamp hour battery, 3.6 volts. So not a very high capacity battery, but if you pull this battery out, there is a connector down in there. I think you can disconnect and add a new battery. For some people, they might be able to put a bigger battery on their own, but they're not going to fit it inside here. It'd have to be something external. But I guess you could get into it if you really wanted to. This is just a pretty small battery for what this radio is. I don't see it lasting that long at that capacity. So that was one thing I noticed that wasn't the best thing about this radio, and that's your only option. That's your only option for battery power. Dynamo crank, that's it, and then the battery. So there we go. Front of the radio, we have a dial. It says FRX1. It's white. We have 88 to 108 on FM. AM is 520 to 1710. Cool thing is, it is analog, and it's like a nice little white indicator as it tunes. Analog tuning on an emergency radio is really nice. I haven't had that in a while. I have a lot of DSPs radios out there nowadays, and to find a radio this cheap that's analog was kind of cool. We have some indicator lights. When the radio's in tune, it lights up green. When it's charging, that lights up green. And I believe, is there a third one there? A weather band light comes on when you're weather band. Okay. Yeah, and then if you notice here, you can select the bands with this inner ring. So here we go. You see a little notch there where you're at. Weather band 1, FM, AM. So we'll put it on weather band 5. It seems the strongest station I have in my area. It's got, you know, I can see it's silver with the white lettering there. This little inner band, like I said, moves the bands. This tunes the radio. So it's kind of simplistic. And then we got the volume control and on-off switch.
Lows in the mids.
Okay, got the speaker here, 1.5 inch variety. It's got little screws here. Looks kind of cool. I mean, it's a cool looking radio for sure. Top here we have a switch for the light. And I guess I'll turn off my lights here and see how it does in the dark. And it's got this little glow in the dark ring so you can find your light, I guess, at night. It says it lasts for 8 hours, that glow in the dark, so that's good. There is our light. And it's not super bright. It's kind of like a weird bluish color to it, but it's not too bad. You'll be able to find your way around. Kind of bring the light up a little bit. Get you better spots, pretty nice. Yeah, it's 3 LEDs. It does really well. So, all right, let's go ahead and turn some lights back on. Okay, back to the radio. So that turns on and off that 3 LED light. As you can see, and this is that glow-in-the-dark ring that you saw. All right, top here we have the antenna. This antenna is pretty small. Extends out to, I think, 10.5 inches. Yeah, woohoo! It does swivel, which is really nice. And it's got little cutouts there. But yeah, it's pretty wimpy antenna. Probably why it didn't do too good on the FM reception, which we'll talk about. Back of the radio, we have a little embossed model number there. We have the Dynamo crank, American Red Cross. Locks in here. Just kind of pull this out. This charges the battery if you don't have it charged by your USB adapter. There it is. See its battery indicator showing it's being charged. I don't like using dynamos, but if you probably have to with this radio. It's the only option. Here's a little jacket that covers the DC input to charge the internal battery. And then you have your headphone jack, which is actually pretty decent sounding. FM mono both ears. AM, of course, both ears. But that was pretty nice. And not a bad experience. If you want this little battery to last a long time, keep a pair of headphones with this radio. Definitely. Let's see. Is that it for features? I think I hit most of it there. Yep. So that is it. So there is no phone charging capability on this radio. And that might be right there a no-win for you or for somebody that relies on emergency radio to charge a phone. Almost every emergency radio I run into charges a phone, and I'm surprised this one does not. And also the fact that there's no optional spot for batteries. It's kind of a big radio. I was wondering why there wasn't any optional space. Another thing is, its bigger brother, the FR1, you can pick up, I think, for $20 or not much more, has an 18650 cell in it. And that's really nice. So if you're not going to be able to have any other batteries, why have a little wimpy one when you could have that high capacity battery? So this radio kind of falls in that category. Do you give it to a kid? Or is it, because I don't know if you want your family to rely on this. I'm already giving final thoughts. I haven't even turned it on, but that's how it is with this one. We are going to turn it on, and we'll just listen to some weather band.
Will likely be needed. Here is the nearshore marine forecast for waters within 5 nautical miles ashore on Lake Michigan. For the following: Calumet Harbor, Illinois to Gary, Indiana. Gary to Burns Harbor, Indiana. And Burns Harbor to Michigan City, Indiana. Waves 1 to 3 feet. Winds 10 to 20 knots.
So that's the only station I could really get.
And thunderstorms likely.
Okay, so we'll go to the FM band here. See if I can see where I'm going. And we're going to tune in Radio Todderbert, do a little audio test. Here it is. He doesn't have much volume to it.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Okay, I'm going to kind of end the audio test there. Yeah, it's not super loud. You know, to be honest with you, an emergency radio doesn't have to be super loud as long as you can hear what's going on. That's the most important, or be able to see what's going on. You can use your flashlight at the same time with the radio being on. That's good. So we're going to go ahead and go to the AM band. And we're going to talk about FM reception first, though. With the FM reception, it was okay. It wasn't that great, probably because of the little tiny antenna. I got maybe about 30 stations. I typically get about 48 with a good analog radio. It's kind of below average for an analog radio. Again, antenna size, I'm sure is what it is. Though the FM selectivity was decent for the analog radio, definitely held the stations in nicely. It was good separation between the stations, so that is a bonus. Again, analog radio does kind of interest me. I do like the fact that it's analog. So we'll go to the AM band. AM band was actually halfway decent. Got all my locals and my semi-locals, which I was pretty surprised. It was a pretty shocker there. I was like, all right, another exciting thing. So we're going to go ahead and disconnect my things here. And just so you know, for that FM audio test, a lot of people don't know how I get the music on here. I got to make sure I tell them every time. I use an MP3 player hooked up to a C Crane FM transmitter 2 set at 97.7 megahertz transmitting. And since I'm in close proximity, I have no problem getting the signal with the radio here tuned to the same frequency of 97.7. So that's how I do it. A lot of you guys already know that, but there's some that can't figure that out, so I thought I'd tell you. So every video I'll mention that. So let's go ahead, we're going to the AM band, and we will go to the bottom of the dial. Okay, AM band's all the way over. Turn this up. We'll see what we can find. Time, 9:35 p.m. Central Standard. Now the antenna, I think, runs, okay, not like this, like this. So, yeah, I'm going to have to tune it like this if you guys are okay with that. I'm just some more light on that dial there. This does kind of shadow it a bit. Okay. Whoops, wrong one.
Text law, as I recall, wasn't it? Or was it last year?
I think it was last year.
Okay, last year, that students could legally carry concealed on campus at the university. Accepted it.
Actually,
So this little radio is picking up Nashville, Tennessee there. So that's pretty cool. Let's just go ahead and... Yep. So that was WSM Nashville, Tennessee, 434 miles away. Yeah, that's pretty cool to get. You know, out of a little radio like this, I was pretty surprised.
Interest rate for up to 90 days while you find your new home. Then, once you've found your new home, if rates have gone up,
score.
your rate stays
Local.
locked. But if rates have gone down...
And I think of like take advantage of children, and he would try to, you know, those people to do things like that, and he would try to go back to the people in Hollywood, you know, to put out movies that
700
you know, kind of
WLW Cincinnati,
evil.
300 miles.
And I think
Be wary. You're going to Costa Rica.
That's right.
You call it the tropical Ireland. Why?
Well,
720
this will be our
WGN.
third time we're down there.
Is this the third trip to
The
Costa
third trip,
Rica? Wow.
and we've fallen in love with the people there. They're
Put out a missive on if the devil would get
Sarah's conspiracy program. It is never dull. It's often controversial because Main Street media won't touch some of the subjects. What is fascinating to me is how
CFZM, Toronto, Ontario, 460 miles. They're not having music right now. They have some kind of talk
on
show.
a few occasions Richard is better prepared than the experts, but usually he is
Are going down to the
from his expert guests.
podcast about the way that the Amish knit in the 1800s. You could listen to a podcast about that. I mean, it's getting so micro-focused. And so, but what's happening is that there's a lot of garbage out there.
750 WSB Atlanta, Georgia. That is a shock, 630 miles.
Rising to the
So this
top.
is a good little AM radio.
And it's a very difficult.
do what he should do, what is the right thing to do. I think the devil causes him to hesitate and question himself.
760 WJR Detroit.
You know, that's why I hate to say it, but
Not super far, but 270 miles.
the majority of state scams. The victims range from like the average age is about 64 to 74 years old. So that's telling you
780 WBBM.
vulnerable. But again, the younger generation.
should be first, should lead the way.
It's 830 WCCO Minneapolis, Minnesota, 310 miles.
Come on now.
So I've set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve. Do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a
WHAS,
myth. I would convince them that man
Louisville,
created God instead
Kentucky,
of the other way
at
around.
300 miles.
I would confide that what's bad is good.
Je suis comédienne, autrice et je fais de la mise en scène. Je suis née à Québec, mais j'ai grandi à Lévis, dans une grande maison.
CJBC, 860 Toronto.
J'ai étudié dans le système public, sauf au secondaire, quand j'ai fréquenté le collège de Lévis. Après un DEC en littérature au Cégep de Lévis, j'ai étudié en jeu au conservatoire.
There's WWL New Orleans barely picking it up. 865 miles.
And I was, like what she said, I was a waitress. And I had no real, I had no marketable skills. I had no money in my bank account. You know, my car broke down. I really felt like I had nothing, and
It's a
I felt
local,
very powerless. And I
believe
felt
it or
like I
not.
had no agency. And
All
I
right.
thought, this was
In number. So to me, it doesn't make that much of a difference. I might move them up a little bit in relation to the rank.
Perhaps drug or alcohol.
Kind of wish it had numbers, a little bit more numbers there than just all those little dashes. Would be nice. As you can tell, it's pretty sensitive at night. During the day it was good. A lot of music tonight. Typical on a Sunday evening. Yeah. Weekends. Tennis run this way for sure. Okay, I think I'll call it there. All right. Let's get that all lined back up. Look at that. It lines up when you do that. Alrighty, final thoughts on the Eaton FRX1. Like I said, it's $15 from Amazon. There's probably a reason why it was only $15. This is a pretty, I don't know, it's really well built radio. I mean, it actually is put together well. I like the analog features. It does have a good flashlight. But I'll be honest with you, for $15, I probably wouldn't buy it. Just because of the fact that it has such a small battery. That's kind of important in a situation when it's an emergency. You kind of want your battery to last a while. Now, I get the fact that you can charge it with a Dynamo, but man, I mean, cranking away for crazy 10 minutes, I mean, that's nuts. I don't know if you ever tried to crank a Dynamo for 10 minutes. That is pretty impossible. It's just not fun. Unless you can hook up to a bike or something and pedal it. But yeah, not my thing. No solar, no, yeah. So for an extended outage, this is not a radio to go to. I guess if you had like temporary problems, like quick storms that blow through and you kind of want to know what's going on, and you keep this radio charged all the time, it wouldn't be a bad pickup for $15. But the WeatherX, this guy here, I reviewed this. I'll put a link up here for this model for the same money or less. I think this might have been even less money, like 14 or $13 or something. You get a really awesome radio. A lot better sensitivity. It is DSP, probably why you get the better selectivity and sensitivity on the smaller antenna. It also has, which is the best part of this radio, has the same battery. Actually, I opened this radio up. It actually has the same exact small battery inside here. You can't really get to it, but it has the ability to run on 3 AA batteries. Yep, 3 AA batteries go inside there. So that is amazing. You want an emergency radio that can be powered by a couple different things, and this radio is perfect for that. You have your generator to charge internal battery. That's great. You also have this to charge your phone. It also has in the front here a phone charger, which is great. So you have your input, you have your output, same kind of flashlight. So it's all, you know, it all is perspective here. But if you're going to look for an inexpensive weather radio, you don't want to spend more than $15 on one because you're going to throw it in a bag and forget about it. Grab this one. Just because you can store the batteries separate here and you don't have to worry about a charge. Just plug the batteries in and off you go. And if the battery's charged inside, great. But if you forget to charge this one, you're kind of out of luck and you'll be spinning that Dynamo forever and you're going to hope that little battery is good. I mean, if that fails, you're out of luck. There's nothing you can do about it unless you're really technically savvy and you can splice wires and hook a battery box up to it somehow. And most people who buy these inexpensive radios don't really want to go through that trouble. So, yep. So for my choice, get the WeatherX and leave this one behind. That's just my opinion. I do like the Eaton FR1 that has the 18650 cell in it. So if you're looking and you like this style and you like this brand, check out that FR1. I think it's digital. Has digital readout and everything. So that's even more fun for people. It makes it even easier. So yeah, that's my choice, WeatherX or the Eaton FR1. I'll link the FR1 up here also, so you guys can check that out and look at those reviews. So if you enjoyed this review, give me a big thumbs up on the presentation of the Eaton FRX1. It's always good to know what these things can do and what their capabilities are. I'm always glad to show you. 2, and you're like, hey, Eaton, I like Eaton. That's awesome. I want an Eaton radio. Well, if you do, check out hit my subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and I will definitely show you more Eatons. And I do have quite a few, so check out my playlists. And I think I'm going to put together a playlist for just Eaton radios alone, since I have quite a few now already. And you'll get to watch those and see which ones you want to buy. It's always good to look them over. 3, comment below what you think about the Eaton FRX1. Do you have this particular radio? Would you recommend this radio, even though I don't recommend it? And if so, why? Tell me. I actually want to know. Just my opinion. And 3, I just said 3. 4, go check out Patreon After Hours with Todderbert. Always having fun stuff over there. So yeah, it's always a great time. Okay, guys, I appreciate you watching. Until next episode, we'll see you soon.